there everybody, how are we doing? Welcome back to my channel, Boomy Reactions. Now today I would like to share with you another one of Chuds BBQ videos, but it's not barbecue. So today Bradley Robinson is going to be showing us how to make smoked salmon and bagels. Right, oh my gosh, amazing, amazing, amazing. So this video has been requested by the wonderful Matt W through Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for your support. And Matt says, hey Boomy, well, I saw that you reacted to Lou G's visit to New York and to him eating a bagel sandwich. I absolutely did. And I'm green with envy, writhing with jealousy because it looked so amazing. It looked so tasty, so delicious, and just so different to anything that we would experience over here, which is basically bought through a supermarket because I don't think there's many places that do fresh bagels. Not where I am anyway, very sadly. Well, here is Bradley making a classic New York staple smoked salmon on homemade bagels while he was visiting his family in New Hampshire. It is more of a New England region food. They call it bagel and lox. They call it bagel and lox locally, sorry. Okay, so I know lox is salmon. Okay. So yes, bagel and lox. Is it a German word, or is it like a Yiddish? I can't remember what the origin of the word is. The lox. I think I'm mispronouncing it for the smoked salmon bagel or just salmon bagel. I'm not sure. Either way, it's interesting to see Bradley cook bread products, and I've seen him on a few occasions because I just associate him with barbecue food. So it's always interesting watching Bradley cook up some baked goods. So let's see what he does with these bagels. Oh my gosh. If it's that straightforward, I might have to try and make some myself because, like I said, the only bagels that we can find here in the UK, and maybe there's one or two places down south or in London that make fresh bagels. To my knowledge, there's none up north. There's none too close to me. And it's very sad because Lou G's bagel looked absolutely amazing. And I just watched Philly and Keely try the Liberty bagels as well, and they look equally as amazing. But one thing I did spot on those videos, Liberty bagels do a rainbow bagel, and it looks marvelous. I desperately want to try it. Anyway, guys, I'm waffling, I'm blabbing. Let's see what Bradley cooks up for us. Guys, if you're enjoying these reactions as well, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Thank you so much, my lovelies. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee account. If you're interested, that link is over here. And if you're interested in supporting this channel any further, I do have a Patreon account, and that link is in the description below. There it is. I love his cap. His cap with the Father Christmas. Oh gosh, I love it.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this. Beautiful, delicious, scratch-made, smoky, amazing, homemade everything bagels, cured smoked salmon with some homemade cream cheese.
There's grill on there as well. I love this. ASMR is best for a foodie.
This is some salmon. Pat it dry. And what I've got here is an absolutely beautiful looking side of salmon from the Faroe Islands, picked up by my mother here at the local grocery store in New Hampshire. It should work out perfectly for what we're doing today. And that's because today we're finally going to knock out some cold smoked cured salmon. Christmas is still in full effect around the Robinson household. But Mom, how long have I been talking about doing some cured smoked salmon around the holidays?
I think probably for 4 or 5 years.
I know, haven't done it.
Are we going to have bagels too?
Maybe.
Bradley, we can't get good bagels around here.
Yes, you can. What happened to the bagel basement?
They went out years ago. There are none. Till you make them, we have no bagels.
All right, I'm on it. And there are several different variations
make
of
some
cured
bagels.
salmon. I think traditional lox is just salmon in a salty brine for a really long time. Then you've got gravlox, which is a little bit simpler of a process using salt and sugar and a whole bunch of dill. And then if you take gravlox and you smoke it, you've got smoked salmon or nova lox. And you've also got hot smoked salmon. The list goes on. But today,
I know there is a difference. There's different types of lox. So the regular lox that we're seeing here, that's not smoked salmon, is that right? But the Nova lox is smoked salmon. Just let me know if I've got that wrong, guys.
We're going to be doing the Nova Locks, where we're going to cure this salmon for a couple of days, probably throw some dill on there as well, and then cold smoke it so it slices up nice and thin, as opposed to the hot smoke stuff, which is a little bit more flaky. And when it comes to salmon, you can kind of choose your own adventure, whether you want something really lean or something that has a lot of fat in it. The fattier the salmon, the more velvety the mouthfeel is going to be, and it's going to be a little bit more rich. And this is going to be cured and smoked, but you definitely want to find the highest quality fish you can, because we are going to be eating this raw at the end of the day. You could find some sashimi grade fish, but as long as you go to a good fishmonger and ask for their freshest stuff, you should be all right. But taking a look at this salmon, first thing I'm going to do is go around and make sure all the pin bones are removed, because you definitely don't want any of those in there. And you can feel them pretty easily. And this one is feeling pretty clean, which is good. And I'm also going to zip off some of this really thin belly over here, because it's so thin that it's probably just going to get really salty. And also that'll make for a great little snack. We'll just come through and kind of square this up a little bit. We could also just cure this on the side. I'm pretty sure traditional gravlax is made out of just the belly, but beautiful looking stuff. Probably have that for dinner tonight. Also going to kind of square up this end a little bit, just because it's looking a little bit dried out where it's really thin. And now I need to figure out if this is too long, because we're going to be putting this on a sheet tray, and that's not going to fit. And because it is so gigantic, I think I'm going to go ahead and square it off right around here. Save that for another meal. That looks really good. And this is what we're left with. So now what we need to do is go ahead and make ourselves a cure.
Beautiful.
And cure for our salmon is super simple. We're going to go in with about a cup of some kosher salt, as well as a cup of some light brown sugar. You could
Kosher salt. I've just recently got to try kosher salt. And it's not as, I want to say intense. I don't think the word is intense. When you compare it to table salt, it's, table salt tastes very artificial in comparison with kosher salt. I don't know what it is. There's something about it feels not less salty, but it just feels more pure. That's a weird thing to say. Similar to sea salt. But it does make a huge difference, doesn't it? I know I've asked a few times why Bradley uses kosher salt and what it is. It's absolutely well worth it. It's much better quality, I think, than table salt, and much less like processed.
do regular sugar if you like, but I think the brown sugar should give some really nice flavor. And we're gonna get that all mixed up. And the salt and the sugar are gonna draw out moisture, which is gonna decrease the risk of any bacterial growth or anything like that. But we're not gonna be adding any pink salt. Not entirely necessary for this dish, but I suppose you could if you wanted to, or if you wanted more of a pastrami brine salmon or something like that. Beautiful. I laid down some plastic wrap so we can keep this thing nice and clean. We'll go down with a nice dusting of our cure. And then we go down with this beautiful chunk of salmon. And then we're going to go all over the top of this as well. And this is more of a traditional cure, not like an equilibrium cure, so we really just want to get this thing completely covered to draw out all the moisture and add some wonderful salinity with that sweetness to balance it out. Top and bottom, and please, folks, don't forget the sides.
If there's ever anything I'm taking away from all of these videos that Bradley does, it's don't forget the sides.
Beautiful. And I did not use all of that. So now we can go ahead and wrap it up nice and tightly. Just kidding. Forgot to add the dill. Just gonna go right on top of all this cure with it. And of course you can add whatever flavors you like. I've seen a lot of people do beets for that red color, or some juniper berries, or peppercorns, bay leaves, garlic, whatever you like. But again, we're gonna keep this one pretty simple today. Just some salt, sugar, and some dill. God, it smells so good. All right, now we can wrap it up. And now onto a sheet tray we go, and we're gonna weigh this down with something, which is just gonna compress it, help the cure get in there a little bit quicker, and firm up the meat a little bit. So I'm just gonna take another sheet tray, pop it on top, find some beers or cans or something heavy, and pop this in the fridge. And how long you let this go in the fridge is kind of up to you, depending on how thick your salmon is, how firm you want the texture to be. But anywhere from 1 to 3 days is generally what you're gonna see. But for this one, I'm gonna say probably 48 hours. So we'll check back in on this in a couple days. 48 hours later, and out of the fridge comes our beautiful looking salmon.
Nicely flattened.
Looking very nice, looking nice and cured. And as you can see, a lot of that liquid that came out of the salmon is in the sheet tray, so definitely put this on a sheet tray. But now I'm gonna unwrap this and give it a thorough rinse to make sure there's no extra cure on there. And after a nice thorough rinsing, this is looking absolutely beautiful, nice and flat. And I got a little worried that I put too much weight on it, but looks like 18 beers did the job. Color's looking great, and it's feeling nice and firm to the touch. And at this point, we could slice on in and eat it right away. This is gravlax at this stage, but we are going to smoke it. And proper procedure at this point would be to park this in the fridge for a couple hours to let the top kind of dry out a little bit and form a pellicle, but I'm a little impatient, so I'm going to speed up the process by aiming a small fan at it. Nothing too crazy, maybe 20-30 minutes on this until it starts to look nice and dried out.
I love the detail that Bradley goes into when he's talking about this. You can just, you know, when you listen to people and they're talking about something that they're so passionate about, and it just radiates from everything that they say. That is Bradley's passion. It's this wonderful, wonderful food that he's making here. And yeah, just, you know, just saying, I appreciate it. I very much appreciate all the detail.
And after about 30 minutes under the fan, this is looking nice and dry. And yes, we are outside. And it is, in fact, snowing. So pretty. So now we're going to throw it on the pit and get some smoke in the air. Got the old smoke tube out here filled up with some smoked pecan pellets. My pellet of choice. We sell these on our website. Check the link down below. Or you could use my other link and get a little discount from their website.
What is the pecan? Don't say pecan. I was just going to say, what do the pecan pellets taste like? What do they bring to the meat? And then I thought, someone's just going to say, well, they taste like pecans. Do they, though? Or are they woody? Or, you know, what do they bring as opposed to other wood pellets?
And today we're doing a proper cold smoke because it's like 28 degrees out here, which is nice. Don't have to worry about anything overheating. And on the pit we go. Skin side down. And we're just gonna let some smoke rock over this thing for the next few hours. And how long you let this smoke is really up to you. You know, you could bust out one of those sawdust little maze things and let it go for a full 24 hours if you want. But those smoke pellets are pretty smoky, so I'll probably let it go for maybe 3-4 hours, but just keeping an eye on color and develop some nice smoky flavor. So we're gonna let this rock just like this for a few hours. And I very well may have to come out here and build a fire at some point because I don't want that salmon to freeze on me, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But until then, I'll keep you posted. And while that salmon smokes away, let's go ahead and get started on our bagels.
Yes!
Start them going into the mixer with some water, our yeast, our bread flour, and a little bit of dough conditioner. And because this is a big batch, I'm going to start mixing this with a spoon so the flour doesn't go flying everywhere. Because then my mother will yell at me.
Yes.
And give that a light mix.
Tidy kitchen, please.
And once it's starting to come together, I'm going to go ahead and let this sit for about 15 to 20 minutes to autolyze, which is going to help the gluten structure and make this dough a little bit easier to work with while the water absorbs all the flour. Or the other way around, I don't know. And after sitting here for about 15 minutes, we can go in with our salt and start mixing. And this is a pretty tight dough, meaning it's pretty low hydration. So we're going to see how far we can get with the machine here, but we might switch to kneading by hand.
Yeah,
if it's straining the motor too much.
Straining
it's definitely straining the motor too much, which is a bummer.
Oh.
So now we're going to do this for as long as I can before I lose my mind. Probably 10 minutes. And after about 15 minutes of kneading, we got a pretty smooth looking dough ball here. So now we're going to pop this into a greased bowl and let this rise for the next hour. And after 1 hour, this is looking nice and relaxed and nice and poofy. So out it comes. Looking pretty nice.
Are you going for a doubling in size? Because I think I've mentioned a few times, making bread here in the UK, unless it's summertime, takes a long time to proof and double in size, so you definitely couldn't get a double proof after an hour, probably nearer to, especially this time of year. And I imagine, because it's snow outside, you know, I imagine New Hampshire isn't too dissimilar temperature wise from the UK. It could be colder actually, I don't know. But yes, are you aiming for like a double in size from this first proof? Does it have a second?
Boop. We'll punch some of the air out, and then we're going to portion this out into some probably 100-gram dough balls, I'm thinking. We're going to go 125. And now that everyone in the entire household has entered the kitchen, we're going to take all these little dough balls and tuck all the seams to the bottom, as we do with most things, pinching the bottoms shut.
Then you do roly-poly on the table?
Maybe. And once we got a nice little ball like that, we can let these rest for like 15 minutes to relax before we form them into donuts. I keep saying donuts! Before we form them into bagels. And after letting these rest down for about 10-15 minutes, they should be a little bit more.
Can you start over? Because I was looking at my hair and going like this when you first started talking.
I'm leaving all of this.
Do you want a hat?
So after letting these rest for about 15 minutes, they should be a little bit more relaxed because we just let all that gluten settle down a little bit. And when it comes to turning these from dough balls into bagels, there's several techniques, and any real bagel maker would yell at me for how I'm about to do it. But the traditional way they do it is they would take this, they would roll it out into a rope, and then kind of wrap it around their hand, roll that seam. But that just seems tedious and annoying. So what we're going to do today is take a dough ball and just kind of pinch right in the middle, trying to get all the way through for a little donut butthole there.
Ooh. I can hear the purists. Bradley, no! I don't think there's anything wrong with making it this way. It's not the traditional way, but, you know, for speed's sake. I haven't seen this lady before. Is this a member of Bradley's family? Is this his sister?
Bradley.
That's the butthole alarm. And then we're just gonna do this. You know, pretty simple.
I'm ready. I think I can handle that.
Roll up my sleeves.
Just trying to make this as even as possible. And remember, these are gonna proof again, and the
Yes,
hole's gonna
second proof,
shrink up,
and
so
they
you don't
go-
need to worry about making it too big.
Firmer than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's a very low hydration dough.
Ow.
How did you get hurt?
Well, I have a little boo-boo.
I have a boo-boo too.
Anyone else around here have a boo-boo? But yeah, something like that. That's what we're looking for. Pretty good. I'd stretch it out a little bit just to make it a little bit bigger. And then we're gonna put these back on a Silpat lined baking dish.
Look at it. It looks a lot like a donut.
It does look like a donut.
Is this the proper size hole?
This whole video is pure innuendo.
I got a big old
Hole.
hole.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I don't want
innuendo.
bagel makers to yell at me, so I'm doing it the real way.
There you go.
Oh,
That looks kind of nice.
That looks pretty good.
It's a little wrinkly, but
My only problem is every time I see it done, and then anytime I've tried it, you end up with one thin part.
Yeah.
Where these are.
yes, yeah. There is one thinner part. I think the way that I apologize. I'm just saying. So this lady here, the way that she's rolling it out, which is the traditional way. I don't know. It's something it does to the texture, and you can see the like the texture of it all along the side of the dough there. Looks a little bit more like a bagel, doesn't it?
Going to be a little more.
You see what I mean? You know those
Uniform.
lines,
I
those like
can
kind of
fix
striation lines.
What are you doing over here?
Just watching the proceedings.
Do you have anything to say to all the commenters that are currently comparing you to Santa Claus?
Oh,
Oh,
ho, ho, ho.
What's going on over here?
Lobster water.
We're having lobsters for dinner.
lobster.
What are you doing?
Watching the fire and Love Actually.
Yeah. Now from
oh, Love Actually is one of my Christmas films. I've actually kind of started to replace it with Last Christmas. That's one of my new favourites. My new traditional every year. Got to watch it. Got to make my Dave watch it as well. Every year, got to watch Last Christmas. It used to be Love Actually. Brilliant film.
the very brief amount of research I did into bagel making, I think this is the preferred method because it works the gluten a little bit more so it gets even
Yeah.
chewier. So there's that fact for you.
I like a chewy bagel. I don't want it to be bread. I want it to be work.
Hello there.
You know,
like
for
them,
how
they're quite
tight
soft
and
and
dry
bready.
this dough
Not
is,
that I've
we are
tried
running
them
into
like
some
that, but they look
stickage. It's sticking to the sill pats a little bit, which is not a problem. I just worry that on this second proof and rise, it might give them a weird shape. So we're laying down some cornmeal for a little ball bearing action.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
And just like that, Dad, what's the word you taught me?
They're toroids.
They're all toroided up. So we're going to cover these up and pop them in the fridge for an overnight fermentation, which is going to build so much good fermentation flavor. So we'll catch up on these in the morning, and I should probably go check on that salmon here at some point. So it's been about 4 or 5 hours on this cold smoke, and you can tell it's a true cold smoke when there is literally snow and icicles forming on the top of your cooker. But the salmon did not freeze through, which is great, but it has stayed nice and cold. And I had to shut the lid a little bit because we had a lot of snow coming down earlier, and it was starting to go through the stack and collect on top of the fish. But at this point, I think we've got plenty of smoke on there. So now I'm going to pull it off and park it in the fridge, and tomorrow morning we're going to slice into it and see how it came out.
Bradley, if we got this amount of snow here in the UK, some parts get more than others, but we'd be pretty darn happy with that, actually. That'd be a certified snow day. No one goes into work and everyone builds snowmen. Woohoo! Doesn't take
But
a
it
lot
is
of snow.
looking absolutely beautiful, nice and tacky, nice and firm,
Oh
and
my
nice and smoky. So off it comes. It is the next day. The bagels are out of the fridge, coming up to room temp, so we got some time to kill. So I think it's time we knock out some cream cheese. What do you think, Becca?
Great idea.
Starting off with some
Becca.
whole
Oh,
milk,
which one's Becca?
as well as some heavy
So
cream.
rude not knowing names.
And we're going to bring that up to a simmer, making sure that the bottom doesn't scorch or anything like that. And once up to a light simmer, in we go with some lemon juice, or any acid really. Vinegar would work just as well. And we're going to pour that right on in. We're going to get that stirred in, kill the heat, and let this sit for 10 to 15 minutes. And what should happen is the curds should separate from the whey, giving us some cheese. And after about 10 minutes or so, this is all separated and looking nice and chunky. Or it looks like really bad spoiled milk, depending on how you look at it. And over here, I've got a colander with some cheesecloth in it. And now we're just going to send all of this through.
Makes it look
soupy.
so
And after getting all the whey separated, these are all the curds, got them in the cheesecloth, and I was really hoping I'd get more whey out, but it's being a little stubborn, so we might have a little more whey in the cream cheese, but that just means it'll be a little bit thinner, but basically I'm going to keep squeezing this and try to get as much out as possible. And once you've got as much moisture out as possible, pop this into the good old food processor here, and then we'll go in with a big fat pinch of salt and get this buzzed up. Looking good, nice and smooth, nice and creamy. And because I didn't do a very good job of draining this, it's actually looking pretty creamy already. But if yours is stiffer, you can add more whey or buttermilk or whatever you like. And because I'm feeling a little frisky, I think I'm gonna chip in a little bit of butter into this too, for the ultimate bagel condiment. Just gave this a taste, it's very good, but it could use a little more tang. So I'm gonna go in with some lemon juice. And once looking nice and smooth and tasting how you like it, our cream cheese is done.
I didn't know it was that easy. Oh, Lau. No. So I've just watched another British YouTuber, a reactor, Eddie the Captain, and he was saying it was in Miami, the sandwich that he tried there, he said it's all about the cream cheese. The cream cheese makes it so good, and it's just not the same as what cream cheese we would have over here. So is it that maybe they make their own? And why wouldn't you if it's this easy? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to try this.
Beautiful, and this is still a little on the warm side, so I'm gonna pop this in a snowbank outside and it should firm up nicely. And back over here at the stove top, I've got a pot of water coming up to a boil because it is finally time to boil off these bagels. And while this heats up, I'm gonna go in with a nice big fat pinch of salt, as well as some barley malt syrup. This is really gonna help with browning and flavor, and that nice chewy exterior, sticky stuff. And once up to a boil, in we go with some of our beautiful bagels.
Now, I've not tried making my own bagels before, but I always would, in my head, they're comparable to pretzels. It's somewhat, you know, the texture, that chewy texture. So I wondered if they had like a dual cooking process and like pretzels. I have actually made my own pretzels. They can come out very, very well. But you boil them, don't you? Oh, so you do make bagels in the same way.
We're gonna go about a minute per side. And after 2 minutes of boiling, out these come.
I know he's wearing gloves, but yes!
And after letting these drain and cool off for just a minute, in we go to whatever flavorings you like. And for us, we're an everything bagel household. Looking good to me. Time to repeat. Bagels are looking pretty good. Brooke, you ever made a bagel before?
I don't know. I don't think so.
What about you? You do a lot of baking.
Never. I'm really excited.
I think I did once before.
Yeah, right.
They smell delicious. Mm-hmm. This dough, though, is such a weird texture.
Yeah, it is. It's got like a skin to it.
Yeah, that's what the boiling does.
Boiled.
Yeah.
Freshly made bagels coming soon.
I see them.
They do feel like they're gonna have like a great crust on them when they're baked.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah, it is getting a little clumpy in there after all these moist bagels have been through the seeds.
They have grown quite a bit, though.
Mm-hmm. Just grab some with your hand and drop a big pile on top. Jesus, don't do that.
Clearly, she's done this before.
Yeah. Well, that'll be your bagel.
It's only supposed to have one hole.
Okay, look, it's getting better.
Most of these looking pretty good. Not sure what happened right there, but I've had this oven preheating at 450 degrees for the last little bit to make sure it is as hot as possible. And then we're going to toss these in there for probably 15-20 minutes or until they come up to an internal temperature of 200 degrees and are looking nice and golden brown.
And then we need the salmon.
I keep forgetting that they're salmon. And just like that, fresh out of the oven, we've got ourselves some beautiful looking, freshly baked everything bagels. And they smell really good. But at long last, let's go ahead and slice into this salmon and see how it came out.
Ooh, yes,
Smelling nice and smoky, looking nice and dry. And this is kind of a tricky thing, to shave this as thin as possible.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do our best. Usually disregard that end piece, it gets pretty dried out. Then, name of the game, nice sharp knife, as thin as possible. For some beautiful looking cured salmon. And this does have a little bit of a bloodline in it, so if you see the darker stuff, you can go ahead and cut that out. Tends to be a little bit fishy. But there you go,
Great.
first slice done. And now we repeat many times. Chef's knife works okay for this. Big wide slicer would also be a good option. Right down to the skin, and then right off the skin. Ooh, look at that. So thin, you can almost see through it.
Thin.
That was a good one. I will say this is a bit tedious of a process, but I mean, the results are looking very good. Nice and shiny, nice and tender, and so thin. Ah, I got that far. I think I'm gonna do the rest later.
Bradley's nice
Because
skills
we've got
are
ourselves
just
a beautiful
fantastic.
platter, and I'm ready for a bagel. First things first, beautiful looking bagel. Pretty pleased with how these came out. Go ahead and slice this down the middle. That looks pretty good. A lot more air pockets than I was expecting, but feeling nice and soft and nice and squishy. Probably gonna give these a quick little toast. Toast it up beautifully. So now we'll go down with some of our lovely homemade cream cheese. And look at it just spreading right on. Ah, I love a good bagel. Smells so good. Very nice. It's kind of in between whipped and regular. And then we'll go down with a hefty amount of our lovely fresh made smoky lox. Just glistening in the light. Looking so good. Smelling nice and smoky. Looking good. And then you can go on with whatever you like. But for me, I'm thinking some thinly sliced red onion. Couple of capers, because it's tradition and very tasty. Some fresh dill.
I'm all for tradition, but there is a very, very small handful of foods that I cannot tolerate in any way, shape, or form. And capers is one of them. I know. I can't make myself like them. It's up there with mustard seeds for me. I don't know what it is. And maybe it's the tang, and there's like a radishy kind of spice. Radishes as well. It's not many, but yes, those three.
Why not? And because I got them, a couple of chives.
Oh, yes.
And there we have it,
chives.
folks. Some homemade bagels topped with some homemade cream cheese, cured and smoked Nova lox, and all the fixins. I'm ready to see how this one came out. But first, let's knock out this other half real quick. And for this one, I think we'll go chives right on the cream cheese.
I think
Little
Bradley's mum
fresh
should try this
tomato,
first.
Seasoned. Some of our lovely lox. Couple red onions.
been waiting a while.
Some capers. And top it off with some dill. Ah, beautiful. Quite the spread, folks. Some lovely thinly sliced salmon and the bagels looking so good. All assembled for a perfect little bite. Let's see how it came out. Family,
Yes.
can I interest you in a bagel with some smoky lox?
Yes.
Oh,
Go
yes.
for it. You can try the salmon by itself. You can go right for the bagel, whatever you want.
I can't believe you
salmon
made these
first.
bagels too. And the cream cheese. Oh my god. Oh no.
The tomato pulled everything out.
That's yum. What a good bite.
Oh, that's
It is
good.
delicious.
Good chew on that bagel, too.
It's like the perfect texture of bagel. It's like you can bite through it without everything squishing off.
Everything's very balanced too.
It's very difficult to squish a bagel.
The smokiness pairs very nicely throughout. By itself, I
Yeah.
think it's pretty intense, but everything built
Yeah,
out.
with all the goodies. I love capers.
That is a chewy bagel.
It is very nice.
In a good way.
Could I squeeze a little lemon on mine?
Oh,
Not too salty.
yes.
No.
No,
I know there was some concern about after they saw me just dumping salt all over the fish, but
I think it turned out great.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yum.
It's such a good texture.
some of these bites closer to the belly that are just super marbled and fatty. Oh,
Also,
silky.
cream cheese.
I like the texture of the cream cheese. It's, You know, the store-bought stuff is often too hard.
Yeah.
You got to whip it up a little bit to soften it up.
Making your own cream cheese seems like a silly thing to do, like making your own hot dogs, you know what I mean? But
You've
that's
been known
pretty
to
good.
do it.
I have been known to do that. But yeah, it's like
Why
straight out of
not?
the fridge, it's still spreadable, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Good enough to get into
I
it.
think it has a richer flavor. Yeah, good job.
Homemade bagels, homemade blocks, homemade cream cheese, not too difficult.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. And the cream cheese was pretty quick too. Yeah.
Do you think the bagels will last for a couple days? Yay.
I can't wait to eat one tomorrow morning. Wow. I always said I don't like lox, but turns
is-
out I do.
That is good. Took a couple
you-
days.
Did
Yeah.
you see what Bradley just did?
Oh god, here we go again. Here goes another dramatic fall.
Thank you, Brad. Those are delicious.
Plenty more where that came from, folks. Now, Dad, you eat smoked salmon a lot.
I do. I love it.
It comes out around the holidays all the time. How does this one compare?
This is excellent. It's very tender, not too smoky, and not too salty. Just absolutely perfect.
It is quite rich. You talked to the fishmonger about it, right?
I did. I said I wanted the freshest, fattiest one.
Ooh, I say that about all the meat I buy.
I say that about the men I date.
Will say, though, not mad about having a bunch of this on hand.
Yum.
Oh, that was so
From
good.
our house to yours.
Happy New Year!
Happy
Let's eat
New
some fish.
Year.
And with this very last bite of smoked salmon, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic cured smoked salmon with some homemade bagels and, of course, the scratch-made cream cheese. I highly recommend giving all of these a try for yourself. If you've never made bagels before, I can highly recommend it. They came out super tasty, pretty easy process, and because it's such a low hydration dough, it's not very sticky and pretty easy to work with. And the whole boil and bake thing is a pretty fun thing to try, at least once.
Yeah.
As for the homemade cream cheese, as I was making it, I was thinking this is really unnecessary. You can just go buy a block of cream cheese everywhere. But once we were eating it, it was super rich, very flavorful, pretty fun process. Again, very easy. And the spreadability of it was incredible. Definitely something I'll be making again pretty soon. And I might make it even easier for myself and just buy some ricotta and toss that into the food processor, because that's basically what we did. But either way, very tasty. And then, of course, we got the smoked cured lox. I've made that several times over the years. Again, pretty easy process. Only takes a few days and is so much better than the stuff you're going to get at the grocery store, because we know exactly what goes into it. You know, it's the salmon, salt, sugar, dill, and a little bit of smoke. And anytime you get to control the smoke flavor yourself, you can really dial it in to exactly how you like it. And I'm probably going to run this whole process back in the next week or so, because it was a lot of fun and incredibly flavorful. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Team Chud members. Thank you for supporting this channel and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.
Oh, they looked unbelievable. I think I'm actually running the risk of drooling a little bit. Make me salivate. Gosh, they look amazing. That cream cheese just looked like a different texture completely, didn't it? It looked almost like a whipped cream. It looked lighter, a little bit airier than the normal cream cheese that you would buy from the supermarkets. Wouldn't mind giving that a go. I didn't realize it was that easy. The salmon looked just fantastic. Oh my gosh, I'm a big salmon fan. I love salmon. So I'm going to have to give this a go. Oh my gosh. I'm super jealous of all Bradley's chud boxes and all the things that he has to make all these marvelous creations. I'd love to set my garden up with like just a handful of these things. Very, very jealous. Anyway, guys, I could chat food all day long. I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. And thank you, Matt W, for requesting that video. You always give me the best requests. Thank you. Well, guys, take care of yourselves for now, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.